Welcome to the Gaming Vanguard podcast, bringing you your weekly briefing of curated news from the front lines of the video game industry. I'm your host, Jeremy, and I would like to extend a sincere thank you to our listeners for your continued support of this podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the latest gaming news, and consider joining our community of gamers over at gamingvanguard.com. Now for this week's headlines. The Stop Killing Games movement has surged into the spotlight, rallying over 1 million signatures on a European Citizens Initiative petition. The campaign, spearheaded by YouTuber Ross Scott, seeks to challenge the practice of publishers shutting down online servers for games, which often renders purchased titles completely unplayable. The movement was sparked by Ubisoft's decision to take The Crew offline in 2024, leaving many gamers unable to access a product they had paid for. Supporters argue this practice amounts to a violation of consumer rights, likening it to planned obsolescence and calling for governments to ban making games inoperable after official support ends. The campaign's growing momentum has prompted a strong response from major industry players. Video Games Europe, a lobbying group representing companies like Nintendo, Sega, and Microsoft, has voiced firm opposition to the movement's proposals. The group contends that forcing publishers to maintain online services indefinitely would make game development prohibitively expensive and restrict creative freedom, especially for titles designed to be online only. They argue that discontinuing online support is a complex decision, balancing commercial viability and player safety, and stress that current industry practice already provides fair notice to consumers in compliance with local laws. As the petition's deadline approaches, the debate continues, with potential legislative action in the EU and UK on the horizon, though any changes would be limited to those regions for now. Romero Games, the studio led by legendary Doom designer John Romero, has found itself at the center of industry speculation following a wave of mass layoffs at Microsoft. Reports initially suggested that the studio was shutting down after its next big project. A new first-person shooter lost its funding when the unnamed publisher, widely believed to be Xbox, pulled out. This funding withdrawal also led to the cancellation of several other unannounced projects and the layoff of much of Romero Games' staff, some of whom had worked together for decades. However, Romero Games has moved quickly to set the record straight. In a statement released on social media, the studio clarified that it is not closed and is doing everything in our power to ensure that it does not come to that. While the team has suffered significant losses and is reassessing its entire staffing situation, the company remains operational and is actively seeking new publishing partners. Several publishers have reportedly reached out, and Romero Games is now evaluating options to bring their canceled game back to life. The studio's leadership remains hopeful, emphasizing that this is a team and a project worth fighting for, even as the broader industry continues to grapple with job losses and uncertainty. In a surprising crossover, World of Tanks is bringing two iconic 90s video game legends, Duke Nukem and Lara Croft, into its latest Battle Pass event, Heroes Paths, running from July 10 to July 21st. Players can unlock custom tanks and cosmetics inspired by each character. Duke Nukem arrives with his signature attitude, voiced once again by John St. John, piloting a nuclear-powered TS-6 assault tank loaded with heavy weaponry and classic Duke flair. Meanwhile, Lara Croft, voiced by Keely Hawes, commands a versatile medium tank outfitted with archaeological tools and nods to her Tomb Raider adventures. Despite the nostalgia, the crossover has sparked mixed reactions, with some fans calling Duke Nukem's return silly and sad, as his appearance is limited to voice lines and tank cosmetics rather than a new game. Both characters are featured in their own chapters, 40 stages for Duke, 30 for Lara, offering themed rewards and collectibles. While it's a fun throwback for longtime gamers, many are still hoping for a proper Duke Nukem revival in the future. Final Fantasy fans, listen up. The Final Fantasy 1-6 Pixel Remaster Collection Anniversary Edition is getting a massive $30 discount for Amazon Prime Day 2025. From now until July 11th, you can snag the physical edition for the Nintendo Switch or PlayStation for just $45. down from 75. This collection includes all 6 classic games remastered with updated graphics, rearranged soundtracks, and modern quality of life features like quick saves and auto battle, all on a single cartridge or disc. Supplies are limited, so if you want to own these iconic RPGs in a true physical format, now's the best time to grab the deal before it's gone. Speaking of Prime Day 2025, 4 bonus free games are up for grabs from July 8th through July 11th. The lineup features some big names: Marvel's Midnight Suns, Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, and the acclaimed horror classic Amnesia: The Dark Descent, as well as the latest in sports management, Football Manager 2024. All 4 titles can be claimed and kept forever, even if your Prime subscription lapses. But note that Football Manager 2024 is only available during the Prime Day window, so act fast. To redeem, head to Prime Gaming with some games available via GOG and others through the Epic Game Store. This offer comes on top of the regular monthly freebies, making July a standout month for the Prime subscribers looking to expand their game libraries with top-tier titles across action, horror, and strategy genres. Big news for Borderlands fans: Borderlands 4 launches September 12, taking players to the brand new prison planet of Kairos. The game's villain, the Timekeeper, rules with oppressive tech, but his grip is slipping as multiple factions, each with their own agendas, vie for control. Not all groups are friendly to the player, with one, Idolater's Soul, even trying to get back in the Timekeeper's favor after exile. Expect a seamless open world with almost no load screens, more character skills than ever before, and long-requested features like a radar and the ability to replay missions. For those tired of Claptrap's chatter, there's now a volume control just for him. Borderlands 4 hits PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, X, and PC September 12th. Marvel Rivals fans, get ready for some big changes in upcoming seasons. According to new leaks, Season 4 will transport players to the mystical city of Kunlun, setting the stage for a major storyline involving Iron Fist, and possibly introducing new heroes tied to the realm. Voice lines referencing Kunlun and its legendary dragon Shou Lao have already surfaced, fueling speculation about fresh content and character additions. Looking ahead, Season 5 is rumored to take a very different turn, focusing on themes of love and romance within the Marvel Universe. This could mean new skins, storylines, or even special events, centered around relationships between fan-favorite characters. With Season 3 set to launch July 11th and bringing Jean Grey and Blade into the mix, Marvel Rivals is keeping its community buzzing with anticipation for what's next. Xbox Game Pass subscribers, get ready. The cyberpunk action RPG The Ascent is making its return to the service on July 8th. Developed by Neon Giant, The Ascent is set in a gritty futuristic world where a mega corporation's sudden collapse throws the city into chaos. The game features explosive top-down shooter combat, deep RPG progression, and supports both solo and co-op play for up to 3 players. This marks The Ascent's second stint on Game Pass after it was previously removed in 2023, giving both new and returning players another shot at its highly rated atmospheric gameplay. The July lineup also includes Little Nightmares 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Legend of Mana, Trials of Mana, and the much-anticipated Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. Later this month, while some titles like Mafia Definitive Edition and the Callisto Protocol will be leaving the service. In other Final Fantasy news, rumors are swirling in the gaming world as the credible leaker Nate the Hate claims the highly anticipated Final Fantasy IX Remake may be in serious trouble or even cancelled. The speculation surfaced just as Square Enix celebrated the game's 25th anniversary. But instead of announcing a remake, the company only released new artwork, a commemorative video, and fresh merchandise for fans to pre-order. Nate the Hate, who has a track record of accurate leaks, stated that while the project was still in development as of his last check, he recently heard from a single source it could have been shelved. He emphasized the need for further verification and urged fans to take the rumor with caution, as Square Enix has neither confirmed nor denied the remake's existence. For now, fans hoping for a return to the world of Zidane and Vivi, well, you'll have to wait for the official word from Square Enix. Those are your headlines coming from the front. This has been the Gaming Vanguard Podcast Weekly News Recap. I'm your host, Jeremy. Check me out on Twitch. Thank you for listening. We'll see you again next time.